Hello and welcome everyone. You're watching a very special presentation from Headlines today. I'm Shivani Gupta. Often we've heard about the great IPL fix. We've often talked about it as well, but never before have we seen the real dirty details. Today on Headlines Today, we tell you all, from the betting racket, the men who placed these bets, the way they came to these bets, the way they arranged these bets, the men who passed information, the men who are now under suspicion for fixing as well. In the next 180 minutes, we will blow the lid of the great IPL fix. Headlines Today is an access exclusively of the Mumbai Crime Branch report, which was submitted to the Mudgal panel, on the basis of which the Mudgal panel and the committee submitted its report on the IPL fixing scandal to the Supreme Court. I also have with me not just the Mumbai police report, but also the Delhi police report. These are the documents that I have with me, and these have several transcripts of Gurunath Mayappan and Bindu Dara Singh talking to each other. They've taken a whole host of names. We'll take it one by one. These are the documents that I first want to establish on our show. The Delhi Mumbai Crime Branch report, which was submitted to Justice Mudgal panel, and also the Mumbai Crime Branch report, which was also submitted. All of these are revealing a fascinating world of just how normal it is for bets to be placed by alleged insiders. Of course, we all know, as far as the Mudgal panel itself is concerned, it has deemed Gurunath Mayappan as the CSK team principal, and therefore also in conflict with the clause of the IPL contract and also the game itself. He has been found to be betting and passing team information. Let me just go across to the other side of our studio now and give you the first glimpse of how some of these transcripts read. We are going towards the Mumbai transcripts first. Let's play some of the transcripts. We'll give you a tease of just what all this Mumbai probe contains. Never before seen transcripts on Indian television. Date 14th May 2013. The time is in the evening, 1932. Bindu Dara Singh, Gurunath Mayappan says, we are going now. Bindu says, to the ground. Of course, all of this is according to the Mumbai Crime Branch report. Gurunath Mayappan, no, we are going to. Okay, you not see the toss or nothing? He's asking him if he's seen the toss. Of course, this is 19:30 in the evening. The toss hasn't happened. Then if we move forward, Gurunath Mayappan says, no, I saw the team in the hotel. Then I went, I leaved. We will win. We will win 100%. We will win. This is all that Gurunath Mayappan is telling Bindu Dara Singh before a match. And of course, this is a match in question of CSK itself. Let me go across to our guests on the show now. We'll come back to more transcripts in a bit, but this in itself is a teaser of just what all is going on. I have Mail Today sports editor Kanan joining me in the studio. Also, Kishore Unta is joining us. Kishore Bhimani, noted cricket commentator and analyst, is joining us from Kolkata. Kishore, I hope you heard the transcript that I read out, where Gurunath Mayappan said, no, doesn't matter. I have seen the team in the hotel. I got the information, he says. And then he says, we will win 100%, we will win. What do you make of these transcripts? This is between now what we believe are not just accused, but the Mudgal pro panel has said it's established these two guys were betting.
Are you asking me that?
Yes, Kishore, what do you make of this conversation in the backdrop of the Mudgal panel report?
I'll preface it by saying that this is the way in which inside information people and bookmakers work. They can communicate to the other person that I'm sure the team will win, or I'm sure the team will lose, or that somebody is injured, or the team, there has been some problems, and this has been going on for ages. This thing carries on, and what it really means is that before the bets are struck, now Mayappan is close to the team. Yes. He has got inside information. He has got an inside track on all that is happening, and obviously this has been in discussion for a long time, and we have always held that inside information of the team should not be used for purposes of betting, for purposes of any other thing except improving the team performance. But in itself, I'd like to just say one thing, that by in itself, for Gurunath, who's a part owner of the CSK team, for him to say we will win is fine. But if it stopped there, we will win, we'll enjoy ourselves, we'll have a drink afterwards, fine. But if this leads to betting, it's a conflict of interest.
I'll tell you why it doesn't stop here, Kishore. I'll read out the next part of this transcript, which will tell you that this doesn't stop here. This is a clear case of passing team information. Let me first also take a reaction from Kannan here in the studio. Kannan, we know that these two characters are suspect. What we're trying to establish here is not just the way that this betting was done, the way that information was passed on, but as we move forward in our special broadcast today, in the next 180 minutes, we'll also establish perhaps more names that are included. But Kannan, what do you make of this first chat that we showed?
I think in the first place, if you're involved with the team, as Gurunath Mayappan is, I mean, only now Mr. Srinivasan, his father-in-law, is trying to say he had nothing to do with the team. I would not be wanting to be involved with any bookie, any outside person. If I'm part of the team, I would be sharing every information only with my team and the team members, no one from the outside world. And this is the biggest mistake which Gurunath Mayappan has made, knowing Bindu Dara Singh's background.
Exactly. Why is Bindu Dara asking him, did you see the toss? Doesn't that beg the question, what are they talking about and why? Why? I mean, when Bindu Dara Singh says, did you see the toss or not? What does that mean?
Obviously, he's asking for information and he's going to get a response from Mayappan, so that's how it is. So obviously, there is a nexus between the two and that's what's being proved by the crime branch in Mumbai.
Let me also say here to, put all of this in context. This is a transcript of 14th May 2013, 1932 to be exact. Now, Chennai played against Delhi Daredevils in the 8 o'clock match that day on 14th May. And Chennai Super Kings won by 33 runs. These are just the facts. Let me go across once again to the other side and let me now show you the other part of this conversation, which perhaps for our guests will make it clear that this is not just about him being excited about his team's match and saying, okay, we will win, we will win. This is where it gets interesting. 1950, the same day. Yes, bro. He says, LB, Holder, Bravo, Hasi. These are Chennai Super Kings players. Okay, says Gurunath Mayappan. We will be there, says Bindu Dara Singh. But here comes the punch. No other change. Gurunath Mayappan says, no other change. Bindu Dara repeats it. No other change. No other change. Now, I don't know if anything can get clearer than this. Wait, I'm giving you weak link in bowling. Bindu Dara Singh says there is no Mahela. What are they talking about? This is before the CSK versus Delhi Daredevils match. Kannan, you want to take, Kishore actually, do you want to take it now? Do you think that this is still innocent?
No, it has not been innocent. I was trying to proceed step by step. And the fact that we had come up to this, that in itself the earlier comments were not really damning. What you've just said is damning. Now, Mahela Jayawardene, one of the finest batsmen in the world, one of the great T20 players. Now, him being absent or him not participating in the team makes a lot of difference on the odds, on the chances of making money and so on. What is happening between Bindu Dara Singh and Gurunath Mayappan is a conversation that leads to the fact of what are the indicators. These are the indicators on which bookmakers make their odds. These are the indicators on which punters will place their bets.
Exactly.
And here we are not talking about small bets. Here we are talking about insiders putting a lot of money to make a lot of money.
Absolutely. Kannan, I mean, I don't think we have to establish any more than this, but we will in the next 180 minutes. But this is a clear-cut case of the fact that Gurunath Mayappan was passing team information. Isn't it? 4 players he's named. Right?
Certainly, there's, you're almost giving out the bowling list, who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing.
This is the list of the 4 foreign players playing.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And I think if you're doing this before the toss, it's very, very valuable input for, people who are putting money. And I'm sure that Bindu Dara Singh would be sharing it with his own bunch of people. And, it becomes very obvious what this trading is all about.
Absolutely. They also go on to talk in one of these transcripts. I'll just read this for the benefit of Kishore and Kannan. But before that, let me go across to Divyesh Nair, my colleague who's joining us from Mumbai. He's got us some reactions from the Mumbai Crime Branch. Now this, as I mentioned, is a report of the Mumbai Crime Branch which was submitted to the Justice Mudgal panel. This is part of the number 15 annexure of the Justice Mudgal report. Remember, Headlines Today broke the fact that it was a 4,000-page long report. 170 of those were 85 pages reports, which were 2 reports submitted. Again, something that Headlines Today broke. And the rest are all annexures, all the details that they got of investigations, all the people that deposed in front of them. So this is annexure 15 of the Mudgal Panel Commission report, and annexure 16, which are the Delhi and the Mumbai reports. Divyesh, what is the reaction that you're getting from the Mumbai Crime Branch?
Well, see, the Mumbai Crime Branch still maintains the fact that, their entire investigation was only pertaining to the betting. We have been following this case right from the time it started. Mumbai Police started their investigation, and every time that the Joint Commissioner of Police has addressed to the media, there has been one question that was repeatedly asked to him, which said that was there any involvement of players that came out during the entire investigation. However, the police maintained that there was nothing, no involvement of the players that they found till now at this point of time. Remember, the investigation is still on. The police at any point of time can further investigate and put an additional charge sheet in the court once they think there is good enough proof. One important aspect that the Mudgal reports mention is the fact that there was clear-cut indication of the fact that Underworld did had connection in this entire IPL betting case, and that was not investigated by the Mumbai Police. We tried to ask the Mumbai Police clarity on this entire aspect of the Mudgal report. What we have been told is that Chandresh Shah, which was one of the bookies who was arrested by the Delhi police, and after that MCOC was invoked in that case, it was clearly said that he in a statement said that Dawood did run this entire betting syndicate. However, when we asked the Mumbai police why didn't he probe that angle, what we have been told is that the fact, as per law, it is not necessary that the statement which has been used in one case has to be taken as a part of a statement in another case. So clearly that's the kind of defense that the Mumbai police has been giving right from the beginning when we have been speaking about the connection of Dawood in this case, or the fact that whether there was any involvement of players in this entire betting syndicate. Back to you.
Right. It's quite interesting that the Mumbai police says that, our investigation was only pertaining to betting, when there are clear indications of, in the Mumbai police branch, crime branch's report itself, of suspicions of match fixing, and we'll get to that in a bit. I'll tell you just why we are saying that there are suspicions of match fixing. There are players' names being taken, there is information, of course, being given, and there are bets being placed with an insider. So what does that mean? That he has inside information and he's betting and he's making money because he knows that the match is going to go according to a plan. Let me also go across to Rahul Raj Malik, who's a Delhi High Court lawyer. Mr. Rahul, just tell us first up, if you've heard the transcripts that we were playing, there's a clear case of passing of information. Does that not naturally lead to suspicion of match fixing as well? And if some players have been mentioned in these transcripts, as we will show, shouldn't the police follow it up? Why are they saying we are restricted only to betting?
We've been saying for quite some time, and that is the sum and substance of our petition in the Delhi High Court, that the state should take control or have some control over the affairs of cricket in India, because BCCI seems to have failed in properly running the affairs of cricket in India, because there have been so many allegations. There have been so many times where the culprits have confessed to having been being part of the various match fixing scandals. But still the state doesn't do anything. And why is the state not doing anything? Are you not going to be, it's a cricket following nation, where people love cricket like it's followed as a religion. And you are letting people being betrayed of their religion in the sense that if all the matches are fixed, and the fixing of these matches is not being controlled properly by the state, that will result in a very bad situation.
Right.
And it will no more be a gentleman's game.
Right. Kishore, what do you make of this? In the next few minutes, we'll also show you a police inspector's interview, a tell-all interview, who actually himself mentions a cover-up operation. We will get to that in a bit. But doesn't all of this smack of a little bit of duplicity? There is everything in these papers to take the matter forward. Why has the matter not gone forward, and why have more players not been investigated? Even if their names are not revealed, why have they not been investigated? Why have we not known more since what came out last year, exactly a year ago?
Okay, I'll answer this very briefly. I think we should clarify that what the police in Bombay have held. Now, I have been associated with his inquiry right from the beginning. I have been writing articles, I've written books on the subject. The point is today, let us clarify that what the police investigate is betting. Betting by who? Betting with who? And betting with whose knowledge? The police are not competent to investigate match fixing. This is my very important point, that the match fixing can only be investigated by the ICC or by the BCCI or
but
by
no
the team,
match
because the
fixing
police
scandal
know
ever,
that
Kishore, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. No match fixing ever has really been blown off by the BCCI or the ICC. It's always been the police. Of course, the 2000 match fixing scandal.
Let me explain to you. It has been blown
there
up
was
by
the India TV sting.
You're absolutely right.
When has the BCCI anti-corruption unit worked, is my question.
Let's talk about... No, it doesn't. But let me tell you one thing. Let me just clarify something, that what happened in the case of Azharuddin, Ajay Jadeja and these people at the turn of the century was a very important case history. What really happened was that they were bugging lines. They were, the lines were being bugged in a Delhi five-star hotel. And this was to do with something to do with Bollywood and the D company, that is Dawood's gang. They accidentally ran into Cronier's room, and Cronier was in conversation with back home, and he was involved with a bookmaker called M.K. Gupta, who owned 2 shops in Janpath in Delhi, and the whole thing came out. You're quite right. BCCI has never exposed anything. Neither has the ICC. It was done by the police. No, ICC has done nothing. ICC today makes long statements. They try to look very impressive, but the fact remains that the police and a little bit of luck from Providence helped them nail Cronier, Gibbs, Williams, Stridon. In India, 5 other people, including Azharuddin and Jadeja.
Alright, we don't want to talk about past investigations. This, of course, is a scandal of massive proportions. IPL is the biggest league in the world, biggest cricket league. There is so much money being spent, hundreds of crores in just this auction that was held. And so much is at stake. And yet it seems that nothing comes off. Even after, a slight bit of information comes out, what happens next? Let me go across to our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, who has also had a brief look at all of these documents. Boria, for the benefit of our viewers, I just want to read out one more thing that Gurunath says in his transcript. This is a conversation which is dated on 14th itself, on 13th rather. He says, they will score 190. Then their bowling will come. Kolkata come to 150. Then Kolkata batting and later score other 41 balls. We will wait for the last 4 over. Wait, let 34 overs go. Last 4 overs we will see. Then he says, gives more information about next match, the next match wicket. There is rain prediction. I heard from Ranchi that the wicket is on the slower side. All of this information is being passed out. First of all, we don't have to establish or remind our viewers just how wrong it is of Gurunath Mayappan to be passing this information to an outsider who's betting on this information. But this also reeks of the fact that he knows more and that gets information from the teams itself.
Shivani, this is insider trading to start with, so that's a clear point. I was hearing Kishore Da, unfortunately, I've read the documents. Unfortunately, couldn't join you earlier because of a technical hitch. But the fact is, the way you started the show with the 14th, reading out the transcript from the 14th, there are 3 facts. One, this is the first time that these transcripts, this is basically the Mumbai Crime Branch probe report that has been submitted to the Justice Mudgal Committee, which the court then instructed to be handed over to the parties. So let's be very categoric here. On these reports, the Supreme Court is adjudicating the single biggest scandal in Indian cricket history. Okay, point number 1. This is basically what has been handed over to the 2 parties. One, the party that is the petitioner, and the other party which is the BCCI. These transcripts, these annexures which we are showing today constitute the basis of the Mudgal Committee annexures, and this is what has been submitted to the Supreme Court. On this basis we will get whatever order we get on the 7th of March.
Right.
So do I tell more about the veracity, about the significance, about the importance of these transcripts?
Absolutely.
Second, this is amply clear to everybody from what you read out that Gurunath Mayappan is giving out 3 things. 1, he is giving out team info. 2, he is indulging in betting. 3, he's compromising team strategy and he's compromising his own team in the process. Clear violation of operational rules of the IPL, on the basis of which the Mudgal committee has found him guilty of betting and compromising the IPL. I know for a fact, and as we will reveal over the next couple of hours, 2.5 hours, it is not only betting, it is not only Vindu Dara Singh and Gurunath Mayappan, and they take the names of several other people.
Yes, I have the report with me. Boria, sorry to cut you short. I have the report with me. I've read it through the morning. And this is not just the Mumbai report. This is also the Delhi Police's report. And there are some interesting facts that come out of the Delhi Police report. Really, you really do not need a lot more than what has been mentioned in some of these reports. I'm going to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we'll also ask the questions. Does this report reveal about officials of the IPL? Are there any top-level officials involved? Umpire Asad Rauf's name has come. What does this report say on his role? We'll get you that in just a bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our special presentation, a marathon 180 minutes that will change the way you look at Indian cricket and especially the Indian Premier League. We showed you two transcripts in our first segment. Now let's take a look at a transcript that potentially puts officials under the dock as well. Now, this is a transcript from 15th May. The time is 16:42. Pawan, a noted bookie who has been mentioned in the crime branch's report, calls Vindu Dara Singh, says hello. Vindu says, kya bhav? They talk about their rate 58.71, 10 peti laga do 68 pay. But here's what comes next. Bets lagata ja raha hai Vindu bhaiya, he says, Pawan. वो सुंदर, वो गुरु को बोला है 100% बोल रहा है KKR. 100% ठीक है, देखते हैं. Now, what does this transcript mean? This is, of course, before a match that KKR played. Let me go across to Kishore. Kishore, what do you make of this transcript where Vindu says that Gurunath has been told by a guy called Sundar that KKR are winning 100%?
There are two things here to remember. One is that the bookies are very fond of using code names. They try not to use the names of the actual people. There is no Sundar mentioned
in the crime branch report. There is no Sundar as alias or as a bookie mentioned.
No, that's... Well, all I'd like to tell you is that since you asked the question, that Sundar could be referring to a particular person, an official or a conduit who, I mean, I've known bookmakers now for close on 30 years. I've been associated even with the Cronia trial in Durban. The fact remains that they will not call me Kishore Bhimani. They may call me Ashok or so that the records are not clear. Now, what I make of this is very simple. 68.71 means that I will bet at 68 and lay at 71. 3 paisa is the bookies spread. They always have a spread, 3 paisa or 5 paisa spread.
No, that all is fine, but where is this information coming from? Where is Gurunath Mayappan getting that information from? Boria, you want to take this? What do you make of this conversation?
See, from as far as what I understand, I don't understand betting like Kishore Da does. 68 and 71 have no meaning for me. The thing that has meaning for me is simple: KKR will win. Who is saying KKR will win? Is it an official? Who is the person being named by Vindu Dara Singh? Who is the person whose name is being taken? Perhaps we all know whose name is being taken. The question is, what does the Mumbai crime branch make of it? You just made the point they are not naming any alias, any bookie named Sundar. Who is Sundar? We've got to have a serious investigation as to who Sundar is. Because we all know if it is the Sundar who is an IPL official, it is madness. It cannot be. So while we are not imputing anything on headlines today, all we are saying is very simple. That if the name that is being taken is that which is the same as perhaps that of the IPL CEO, we need to be clear as fans that this is clean. Right. Further investigation is absolutely a necessity. For otherwise, how are you and I going to trust what is being played out there if I'm being told KKR will win, and that is what is happening?
Right.
Now, this is madness as far as I'm concerned.
All right, let's also go across and listen to the third part of our investigation. Of course, there's a report that Chennai Police Department also submitted, and the IG officer Sampath. He spoke exclusively to our correspondent Shumon Ray, first about how he received the inside information on the IPL betting. He reveals just how he got to know what was happening. Listen in.
IPL Probe Committee report by Justice Mudgal had many revealing things, among which one prominent one was the question about a possible cover-up operation on match fixing based on SP Sampath Kumar's report to him. With me is SP Sampath Kumar, who was in fact investigating a fake passport case and got in touch with some of the bettors and fixers as well. Tell us something about the case.
Actually, this investigation I followed up as SP Q branch. Now I am SP Railways in Trichy. During that time I was stumbling into this case of cricket betting. I was summoned by Mudgal committee and I got permission from DGP and I deposed before the committee on 19/1 and at Bangalore. It's an in-camera session and deposed, and that deposition is now the so-called report, in which I stated that as SPQ branch, I was supervising the passport racket cases, in which I secured one Muhammad Jafar alias Jafar. And in turn, he was telling about some getting assistance from one Haris Bajaj, and that Haris Bajaj was later on secured. And that person spoke about cricket betting. And this cricket betting and all those things is not of our purview, but it involved some underground connections and all. We were looking into this. This Haris Bajaj was telling about one Kitty alias Uttam Jain, who was in fact who was inducted him into this trade and all. So we wanted to find out this fellow, but meanwhile they got about this modus operandi, which include this cricketlovebet.com and the authorized phone calls. That is authorized commentators and fixed phone calls. All these details we had. Then meanwhile this Kitty wanted to surrender through Ranga, and the Ranga brought him to our office at Q branch. And we, along with this technical team, we interrogated that Kitty alias Uttam Jain, and he identified the phone numbers, phone calls, and his involvement and his fear of Vikram Agarwal by that time, and why he was absconding for some time.
Right, so that was the Sampath Kumar there establishing just how he got to know the entire nexus. But the next part, which we're going to play now, is actually the most crucial part, where he talks about why he said in his report, which Headlines Today also broke last week, that the Chennai versus RR match on 12th May was fixed, and he also mentions a very key player whose name has not surfaced so far as reports in the public domain are concerned. Listen in.
He has also mentioned to you Vikram Agarwal's close association with Gurunath Mayappan, and tell us something about a match that he talked about, match being fixed.
Yeah, in fact he told about all those things because he said about his friendship with Vikram Agarwal and associateship with this cricket betting and all those things. He used to be a partner and he used to go along with him for parties and all, in which he has seen Gurunath Mayappan also. He is also a good friend of Vikram Agarwal. In turn, he was telling about one match fixing in Rajasthan in 12-5 match. He was telling about that, and in which he was mentioning about that Gurunath Mayappan was.
You mean to say 12th of May 2013 match between Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals?
Yeah, yeah, the thing. But the process of match fixing started. I think it started from 23rd or 22nd of April.
Tell us something more about the match fixing. What was the process? Achha, talk about the aspect where Kitty has probably told you that Mayappan told him that he had Gurunath Mayappan has agreed that Dhoni in fact has agreed to fix the match.
Yeah, he said about that. He said about that Gurunath Mayappan informed Vikram Agarwal that Dhoni has agreed for that. But he didn't mention agreed for that they wanted to score up to 140 and ready to lose the match.
And that deal was struck.
Yeah, that was struck, and this was happened on 27 or 28. I don't remember exactly. That day they finalized that. That was informed to Vikram Agarwal. entire one, Vikram Agarwal made a call to one person by name Sanjay. He was suspected that to be that Bond brothers of Jaipur.
Kitty Uttam Jain, apart from naming Dhoni as having fixed the match or agreed to score a particular run and lose the match, has he named any other player from Chennai Super Kings or any other player from Rajasthan Royals? Player's name?
No, he didn't say. Actually, he said that Vikram Agarwal is close to Dhoni and Suraj Raina and others, and few others, during the parties and all. But when this match thing comes, he said that Gurunath Mayappan said that Dhoni has confirmed and they're ready for that.
This is what we had broken last week as well, that in Sampath Kumar's report, Dhoni's name figures through a bookie, of course. There is not any direct conversation with Dhoni or not, with Dhoni, off Dhoni's with any bookie or with Gurunath Mayappan or Vindudara Singh. Bore, I want to come to you for a very, very quick reaction before we go into a break and discuss this in detail. This is Sampath Kumar's first interview ever on this matter, and he has clearly said that the bookie told me that Dhoni had agreed to play as per plan.
You know, firstly, I have to congratulate my colleague Shumon Roy for doing this interview. I think this is the first time that a serving IPS officer is on record. Sampath Kumar is still today a serving IPS officer in Chennai. He is a bureaucrat appointed by the government of India, who is a respectable bureaucrat, naming the Indian captain. While you and I are no one to judge or say this is substantiated evidence, we cannot say that, nor are we imputing any motive. The fact is, if a standing serving IPS officer imputes a motive into the Indian captain and names him, the least we can do is investigate. This is a shocker. I couldn't believe my ears. He's actually saying Dhoni, Raina. Come on. These two people are India's two best players in this format, not only in the IPL, but going forward in the World Cup. One, the captain of India, and the other a very senior player. Named by a sitting serving IPS officer on a camera interview. This I don't think has happened before and is quite astounding.
Right, and this is what we're going to target that question as to what after this. This report is quite old actually. What happened after this? We're going to tackle that question because on the other side of this short break, Sampath Kumar's the chunk of Sampath Kumar's interview where he actually talks about a cover-up by the Chennai police to stop from further investigations going on. Is that what is really on as far as the IPL fixing? The first interview ever by SP Sampath Kumar where he clearly takes the name for the first time ever in an on-camera interview of our Indian captain MS Dhoni as far as the IPL fixing scandal and the Chennai crime branch's report is concerned. He says a bookie clearly said that Dhoni has agreed to play as per plan. Now, remember, this is the first time that Dhoni's name has been taken by a police officer and that too on camera. Now, these revelations come as a huge shock, all the revelations that Sampath Kumar made. But Sampath also questions the report, which was eventually submitted by the crime branch city about the match fixing. And here's why he's talking of a possible cover-up.
That's the main reason and the main thing I wanted to stress on Justice Madhukar Committee also. I asked for an investigation by some agency like National Investigation Agency with the joint investigation team. The main reason for being this, I had a feeling that this investigation is not on the right line because in the very affair itself, it's mentioning about match fixing. Harish Bajaj has said about that. He's not telling about the match fixed during this time. He was telling about the previous IPLs in which he was telling about some match fixing and all. It's in the very affair itself. But it was not probed properly. Apart from that,
the question of when Harish Bajaj was actually saying, admitting to the fact that there was a match fixing that had gone. So there should have been a question on what about this year.
Yeah, naturally, but further that is for the IVO to dig into that, because the affair itself speaks of some match fixing. They must have dug into what all happened previously, but they haven't done that. Further, Kitty has spoken so many things within 3 or 4 hours in the Q branch, and he has ascertained about some numbers, those details and all. And he has spoken about match fixing also. Whereas, so to my surprise, it was not elicited at CBCD.
But the circumstantial, whatever your report says, and there is when the report submitted by the police department, in fact, CBCID, Gurunath Mayappan's confession report, the confession report of Vikram Agarwal and Kitty, they are not talking about match fixing at all.
Yeah, and that's a very much threatening and pressurizing point. That's the reason I wanted to go for some national investigation. The second crime number in which Ranga was fixed up. That's Ranga is not the target, but they were targeting me through Ranga. And the second time when he was taken in custody, further.
So in a way, you are being framed up.
Framed up in the sense they wanted me to not to probe further on this, because they came to know from Kitty that he has said something to me. I am not talking about the quality of an investigation. My point is, when we can in Q branch crack down so many things, why they haven't done that? That's my question. So they haven't done it properly. When the FIR itself speaks of match fixing in the previous issues, they are not probing it. Further, in addition, this Kitty has given so many information within 3 or 4 hours in Q branch office. Why he was not elicited when he was taken for 7 days custody? And even apart from that, the connections between Vikram Agarwal and Gurunath Mayappan is very well established from other technical forum also. They haven't pursued properly. That's my feeling. And another thing, there are input, we are coordinating with some central agencies also. Meanwhile, we came to know that Delhi is looking into some angle, Mumbai is looking into some angle, Rajasthan is looking into some angle, Tamil Nadu CPC is looking into some angle. But
which angles?
They are not, it's like blind people looking at an elephant. Nobody is having the total figure. My idea is to keep focused so that the underground links should be coming out.
Sampath Kumar, they're saying clearly that there is pressure on me to not take this investigation further. Now, what more can a sitting SP really say? Kishore, a government official is saying, I have pressure from the police branch, the crime branch, to not take this further.
It's absolutely mind-boggling. Instead of going to the extreme source when there is a lead, we are actually talking about suppression. There cannot be a bigger proof that here it is, they're trying to limit the report, trying to limit the damage, and certainly trying to protect people. If there is ever a cover-up, this is a cover-up.
Kannan, the police inspector is saying, I did all of this research. Kitty, the booker, told me all of this. Why am I not being allowed to look further into this matter?
I think this whole thing is going live. People concerned must be watching it. I think from people in the cricket circles right to the courts of law. It's going to be coming up in March. I hope someone is going to take a look at this. And here's a police officer talking about players, he's talking about bookies, he's mentioning names very specifically. He's talking about his role, and you know, we've got to take it. There's so much of stuff available. How are you going to take it? How are you going to look at it? You cannot just confine it to one part. I think so many things have come out now in the open this evening. I think it just needs to be probed in the right angle. It has to be used as proper evidence, and only then can you reach a logical end. Otherwise, if the Supreme Court, you know, which is going to take this up, it has to look at it in totality. And I think if you've got a police officer on record, you know, speaking in a TV show, you don't need any further proof that, well, this whole thing is murky.
And this is based in Chennai. Let me repeat that. Chetan Chauhan, former India cricketer, is also joining me in the studio. Chetan sir, you heard what a police officer himself has to say, that why is this investigation not being taken further? I have pressure. Despite having the confession of a bookie, I have pressure to not investigate this matter further. Does this not smack of a cover-up? And what do you think is the BCCI's role in this?
Well, see, if the police officer is saying this, I'm sure this transcript or this interview definitely is being watched by people, and I'm sure the Supreme Court is definitely going to take further investigations are going to be ordered by the Supreme Court. I'm sure all these things will definitely come up in that. All that I would like to say here is that this matter should be thoroughly investigated. I am also at the same time surprised that before, this is last year, but before this again, the match fixing as well as betting, all this was investigated, and in spite of this investigation, people still went on getting involved in this. That really surprises me. Maybe in strict action was not taken. Maybe there were other problems, but whatever. But I don't think now this there can be any pressure, or this thing can be hidden up, or it could be suppressed. I'm sure the report has been submitted to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will definitely go into it, and maybe further investigations will be ordered. And
really, we only have the Supreme Court to depend on. Kishore, isn't that the fear amongst the cricket fan today, that we really cannot depend on anyone else but the judiciary, the Supreme Court, which is now handling this matter, to actually root out this mess? There have been charges of a whole cover-up, not just of this Sampath Kumar report, but overall of match fixing and spot fixing and the betting itself. Do we really have any hope that this matter will go further in the right direction to its logical conclusion?
Well, Chetan Chauhan just said absolutely the right thing, that Supreme Court will investigate, that we are down to in this country, the judiciary is the last hope left in so many areas. And here in match fixing, if somebody is putting pressure on a senior police officer to stop the investigation, there cannot be anything more criminal than that. We have to today take this further. Justice Mudgal report has been so comprehensive, he's been so hardworking, and he's been so sincere about it all, that I think the work should not be left in the lurch. This needs investigation. We need to investigate the 13th May match, which is all this is about, where it was 81 for 1 Chennai, 141 all out, and Rajasthan Royals. Now that particular match is under the scanner for the simple reason that CSK had qualified for the final, whereas Rajasthan Royals had not. They needed to win this match. A lot of money is at stake, a lot of franchise prestige is at stake, and that particular match has been in focus for a long time. And obviously this match is being referred to, as far as I knew, it was 13th of May. The scores were 141 all out, Chennai Super Kings, after being 81 for 1 in 11 overs. And later on, when Rajasthan Royals batted, they seemed to cruise home after being a few wickets down early. Now this is the match in focus. This is the match that resulted in Rajasthan Royals qualifying for the tournament.
Right, this is the 12th May match, and I'm glad you mentioned this match, because next on our show we'll also talk about the transcripts of the conversations between Bindu Dara Singh and Gurunath Mayappan before this match. We gave you a sample, just a teaser. Next, when we talk about this match, there are going to be players named during this match, and just the whole sequence of events, the way the conversations happened from the beginning of the day till the end of the match, in the end of the first innings especially, is going to be fascinating. But let's just listen in to Sampath Kumar, SP Railways Trichy, once again on how he alleges there is pressure on him to not go forward of the report that he compiled, where he talked about this match on 12th May being fixed, and also Dhoni's name coming up, and how there's pressure on him to not take his investigations further. Listen in.
That's the main reason, and the main thing I wanted to stress on Justice Mudgal Committee also. I asked for an investigation by some agency like National Investigation Agency with the joint investigation team. The main reason for being this, I had a feeling that this investigation is not on the right line, because in the very affair itself, it's mentioning about match fixing. Harish Bajaj has said about that. He is not telling about the match fixed during this time. He was telling about the previous IPLs in which he was telling about some match fixing and all. It's in the very affair itself. But it was not probed properly. Apart from that,
when the question of when Harish Bajaj was actually saying, admitting to the fact that there was a match fixing that had gone. So there should have been a question on what about this year.
Yeah, naturally, but further that is for the IO to dig into that, because the affair itself speaks of some match fixing. They must have dug into what all happened previously, but they haven't done that. Further, Kitty has spoken so many things within 3 or 4 hours in the Q branch, and he has ascertained about some numbers, those details and all. And he has spoken about match fixing also. But whereas, so to my surprise, it was not elicited at CBCD.
At this point, circumstantial, whatever your report says, and there is when the report submitted by the police department, in fact, CBCID, Gurunath Mayappan's confession report, the confession report of Vikram Agarwal and Kitty, they are not talking about match fixing at all.
Yeah, that's a very much threatening and pressurizing point. That's the reason I wanted to go for some national investigation. The second crime number in which Ranga was fixed up. That's Ranga is not the target, but they were targeting me through Ranga. And the second time when he was taken in custody, further.
So in a way, you are being framed up.
Framed up in the sense they wanted me to not to probe further on this, because they came to know from Kitty that he has said something to me. I am not talking about the quality of an investigation. My point is, when we can in Q branch crack down so many things, why they haven't done that? That's my question. So they haven't done it properly. When the FIR itself speaks of match fixing in the previous issues, they are not probing it. Further, in addition, this Kitty has given so many information within 3 or 4 hours in Q branch office. Why he was not elicited when he was taken for 7 days custody? And even apart from that, the connections between Vikram Agarwal and Gurunath Mayappan is very well established from other technical forum also. They haven't pursued properly. That's my feeling. And another thing, there are input, we are coordinating with some central agencies also. Meanwhile, we came to know that Delhi is looking into some angle, Mumbai is looking into some angle, Rajasthan is looking into some angle, Tamil Nadu CPC is looking into some angle. But
which angle?
They are not, it's like blind people looking at an elephant. Nobody is having the total figure. My idea is to keep focused so that the underground links should be coming out.
Right, Sampath Kumar there, an investigating officer of the crime branch CID in Chennai, talking about how when he compiled his report, which also mentioned a bookie taking Dhoni's name in reference to a match being fixed, and particularly the 12th May match, CSK versus RR, which has been under the scanner for the kind of way, for the way that Chennai batted in that match. He's saying he now has pressure on him to not take that investigation further. Even the report submitted is under question. Will we ever know the truth about this match? When we're going to slip into a very short break, but on the other side, we have these transcripts. As I mentioned, Headlines Today is an exclusive possession of the transcripts that the Mumbai crime branch has submitted to the Mudgal panel. Also transcripts of the Delhi police report which has been submitted to the Mudgal panel. These two reports together have become the basis of the Mudgal committee panel report. And we'll come back and listen to the transcripts, especially from 12th May, the match between CSK and RR, which is so under question that Sampath Kumar in his report said it is fixed, but I have pressure not to take this further. Was Dhoni involved? Were other players involved? The great IPL fix. Headlines Today breaking for the first time on national television. Excerpts from the Mumbai crime branch report that was submitted to the Justice Mudgal panel, on the basis of which the entire probe panel has conducted its entire investigation. We also have exclusive access to the Delhi police report, and there are several names being taken. Let's first listen in to just how this entire racket was being run. Gurunath Mayappan along with Bindu Dara Singh played their cards pretty smartly on possibly every match that was played in the 6th edition of the IPL. Headlines Today, after having accessed the Mumbai crime branch's probe report, compiles for you some of the key details on how both Mayappan and Bindu went about their job between 12th May 2013 to 14th May 2013, clearly establishing the correlation between the two in the betting scam and also raising suspicions about spot fixing on other players. Listen in.
They score 190, then their bowling will come. Kolkata come to 150. My suggestion today, both matches will just stay quietly and do nothing. On 12th May 2013 at around 7:37 in the evening, on being asked by bookie Sanjay Chabra, same match at 20:58, Guru revealed to Bindu that his team will make about 140 runs, total bets of 1.40 crore against his own team. On 13th May 2013 at 10:47 in a call to Bindu, Gurunath says, I will give you my inputs and then I'm going to follow what you will say. He provides inputs of the wicket and the weather. On 14th May 2013 at 19:26, when asked about the toss, Guru assures Bindu, I saw the team in the hotel. Then I went, we will win, 100% we will win. Also before that Chennai versus Delhi match, Gurunath also informs Windu of the team changes, giving names like LB, Holder, Bravo and Hussey. Gurunath also informs Windu of the team changes, giving names like LB, Holder, Bravo and Hussey. The extent of the collaboration between Windu and Gurunath is not the only thing that is revealed in the report. Nearly half of all IPL team matches are suspected to be fixed. Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai and even Sunrisers. There's a mention of at least half a dozen players, Indian and foreign, whose performances are being discussed, raising suspicion of their involvement. Asadrov's involvement has already been nailed, and even a mention of a top IPL official. The lid has been blown off.
The lid clearly has been blown off the great IPL mess. Boria Majumdar, our consulting editor, Chetan Chauhan, former Indian cricketer, S. Kannan, Mail Today editor, and senior journalist Swami is joining us on the show. Boria, coming to you first. Also, Gulu Ezekiel joining us. Gulu, some of the transcripts that we've mentioned, which are there in the Mumbai Crime Branch report, submitted to the Mudgal panel, they reveal the extent to which this rot goes, the extent to which the collaboration between Gurunath Mayappan and Windu Dara Singh was working, and of course we're also going to reveal some of the names that they have discussed in these transcripts.
Shivani, the match that you just mentioned, the 12th of May match, let me make this very categoric for our viewers. 3 points. One, you know, he says at 8:58 we will score 140. 11.4 overs of that match out of 20, Chennai was 87 runs for 1 wicket. 87 for 1. Who are the batsmen to come? Michael Hussey, Ravindra Jadeja, Suresh Raina, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Dwayne Bravo. 5 of the best batsmen in T20 cricket. What happens? They actually score 54 runs in the last 50 balls. Can you believe that? Perhaps not. Even in the last ball, Dwayne Bravo gets an edge which goes past the wicketkeeper for 4. That is why they go up to 141 from 137. Otherwise, exactly what Gurunath Mayappan had predicted, under 140 was the case. I think there is enough scope to say that a serious investigation is in the offing. I think the Mudgal committee needs to be complimented for asking for a serious investigation and not ruling out spot fixing and match fixing. No one can be exonerated because this match, 140 against your own team, 1.4 crores. I don't think this can be swept under the cover that easily.
And we will reveal the transcripts where Windu Dara Singh and Gurunath Mayappan are also talking about CSK's players' performances during the match. They're discussing just what is happening. At some points, they actually seem clueless. That they talk about is everything going right? Are there some things going wrong? Gulu, this just, I mean, if there was ever any need of more proof about the possible suspicion of spot fixing and players being involved, then this is it.
Well, the point is the evidence has been piling up ever since last year now. It's been going on for a year. And more revelations are coming out, and it's just getting murkier and murkier. So I just want to know, when are we going to see resignations? When are we going to see some action taken? Because this kind of evidence cannot be ignored any further.